Nigel Cecil, equity as you like it.
Especially for my equitable friends. Hello, Chakabatties. Nigel Cecil here, entertainment entrepreneur, responding once again to my equitable friends who sent in their views and opinions and questions to moi to this email address. And Hilary, yes, focused on one particular thing this time, because my equitable friends have seen the video that Equity has posted on their YouTube channel, which said this. Nadine Dorries has announced plans to privatise Channel 4. Now, Nigel Cecil moi unequivocally supports a campaign that seeks to change Nadine Dorries' mind. And the Equity video finished with this invitation. So share your thoughts in the comments about what Equity can do. Fancy a kind of invitation to Nigel to make a comment. Could I resist, everybody? Well, definitely not. So I had a look at the Equity website and found a link to the YouTube channel where Equity has published their video. Apparently also someone called Zoe, is it, Hilary? Do we know who Zoe is? But anyway, Zoe sent out an email to some 46,000 members of Equity promoting that video. And guess what? We had a look at the number of views. 49 views with a mail-out database of over 40,000. What's that all about? I mean, it might be seen on other platforms, but YouTube is indicative of what the reaction is. And in fact, Nigel gets more reaction than that. And I've only got a database of a couple of, well, 10s and 20s. So it sort of says to Nigel that even if we take in all the other platforms, maybe the Equity message isn't getting through. So if you ask me for my comments, well, as an entertainment entrepreneur, I'm happy to give them. Now, where do I start from? Look at Nadine Dorries. You see, Nadine Dorries is a Scouser. Nigel, well, I'm a Manc. And I many years ago, used to work on stage at the Grafton Rooms in Liverpool. And there's some things I learnt that we have in common. Number one, well, we share a sense of humour. It might be slightly different, but we certainly like our humour. And number two, well, I started off being called a woollyback. But you know, make a friend of a Scouser and you've made a friend for life. And number three in these little thoughts, you never assume you've got the right to demand a Scouser or a Manc does something. Because if you assume that, well, you're on a hiding to nothing. So if you say to me, how are we going to approach Nadine? Well, I'd say, sense of humour. Negotiate. And try and persuade. And then the message comes completely different, doesn't it? You see, if we're talking about humour, well, Nadine Dorries, well, she's an author. I mean, might have been on a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, but you know, as an author, she's got 4 in all the titles. I mean, just look at this. Nadine Dorries, back to 4 streets. Nadine Dorries, coming home to 4 streets. Nadine Dorries, the 4 Street Saga. Nadine has got 4 in her name all the way round. So I hope those little creations of Nigel made you chuckle. And indeed, if they didn't, I've got the Equity daffodils ready. Now, you see, that's one thing Equity's got, that creativity, that talent. I mean, moi, years ago now, my mentor was a guy called Cecil Cora. Now, he started off his career with Barney Colan, The Good Old Days, producer It's a Knockout, and then became commissioning editor for Channel 4. Now, working with Cecil, well, we had innovative shows like The Gong Show, Frankie Howard, Malcolm Hardee. We had wonderful times, and that's what Channel 4 is all about, you see. So why can't the Equity members sell that idea? I mean, just imagine we have an ode to Acclaim Channel 4 to show everybody what it's achieved. I mean, we could have, creatives, a line each. Think of all the celebrities who've been on Channel 4. In fact, Nigel, not that I would take part. I wouldn't dream of putting myself in such high what? Yes, I know. All right, I'll shut up. But here's the idea, an ode to Acclaim Channel 4. 'Twas the 2nd of November, 1982, when a creative star from Ofcom came forth and broke through. Forth to be for in innovative ways, Channel 4, bringing pleasure to many as it captured their gaze. And my equity daffodils. Now, what about these? Yes, imagine if all the stars, or a lot of them, who've been on Channel 4 got together and did an ode to Acclaim Channel 4 and put it on YouTube or on all the other social media platforms. Who knows what impact it may have? So maybe Equity could coordinate something like that. And something else Equity could do. Yes, no doubt the council are thinking of doing it, Hillary, but they'll demand an emergency motion to the annual representative conference that's been held in Leeds in May. Now, if you're going to demand, well, again, as a Manc and a Scouser, you don't demand, you persuade. So, indeed, if a motion was put forward that acclaimed what Channel 4 had done, then it would mean it would be a friendly motion seeking to persuade. And as the headquarters of Channel 4 in Leeds is only, 5-minute stroll away from the Equity Representative Conference, yes, you could invite the movers and shakers from Channel 4 to come and join in and hear Equity acclaim it. And when the motion is passed, as I'm sure it will be, all the representatives could sign it and present it to Channel 4. And indeed, they could even walk the 5-minute walk to Channel 4 and present it at their headquarters. Now, how much more inclusive can that be? And it's seeking to persuade rather than demand. I know we all want to demand, but sometimes persuasion is better. So let's acclaim the triumphs of Channel 4 and see if we can persuade Nadine Dorries to change her mind. Now, that's the way it's going. And what, you don't believe me? It's only a 5-minute walk away. Let's just have a look at the map. So as you'll see, it's only a short stroll from the Equity Annual Representative Conference in Leeds to the Leeds headquarters of Channel 4. So it will be easy for all the representatives in person to acclaim Channel 4. Now, if that persuasion doesn't actually find favour with Nadine Dorries, then of course, at the end of the day, the Equity daffodils, yes, Nadine, at the end of the day, I'm all for a bit of friendly umph, a little tickle, as Ken Dodd might say. I'll come and tickle you with the Equity daffodils to see if that will help change your mind. So from a quick tickle from Nigel, I hope you'll take part. I hope you'll join the campaign. And I really hope we can persuade Nadine Dorries to change her mind for the innovative, creative future of our biz. Thank you, everybody, and daffodils to you.
Nigel Cecil, Equity as you like it.